Let's talk about something you use every single time you drive, but probably never, ever think about. Yep, your car seat. We're about to pull back the curtain on a hidden secret that could completely change how you judge a car's quality.
Oh, you know the feeling. It's a scorching hot day, you're wearing shorts, you slide into your car, and zap! That plastic trim on the side of the seat feels like a hot iron. You probably blame the sun or the leather, but that's not the real story. That little jolt of pain, it's actually a warning sign of a much bigger problem hiding just under the surface.
That's right, the real villain behind those annoying squeaks, that saggy upholstery, and that general feeling of cheapness, it's not the fancy material you can see and touch. Nope, it's the plastic skeleton that's hiding right underneath it all.
So let's go find it. We're going to hunt down your seat's invisible saboteur. That one component that really decides if your car feels premium or like a bargain bin special long after you've driven it off the lot.
Now get this. All of these super important plastic parts can cost the manufacturer as little as 20 to 80 yuan. We're talking just a few bucks. And because it's so cheap, you better believe this is one of the first places car makers look to cut corners. That tiny saving for them has a massive impact on your daily drive.
So what exactly are these plastic parts we're talking about? Let's meet the exoskeleton that's living right under the skin of your car seat.
In the auto industry, they've got a technical name for them: cover plastic parts. But in plain English, they're all the hard shells, the side panels, the clips, the frames, basically anything that gives the seat its shape and connects the soft, cushiony parts to the hard metal frame.
Honestly, the best way to picture it is like a suit of armor. You know, if the foam is the muscle and the metal frame is the skeleton, then these plastic parts are the exoskeleton. They give it structure and protect everything on the inside.
So why should you even care about this stuff? Because cheap plastic leads directly to a driver's biggest nightmares. You get that loose, saggy look that makes a 2-year-old car feel like it's 10. You get those infuriating squeaks every time you hit a bump. You risk little clips and panels just snapping off. And this is the most important one. In cars with airbags in the seats, bad plastic can actually stop it from deploying correctly in a crash. Yeah, this isn't just about comfort, folks. This is about safety.
All right, now you know not all plastics are created equal. To make this easy, let's just think of the different materials as rival gangs, each one with its own specialty, its own turf.
The two biggest players on the block are modified PP and ABS. PP is, without a doubt, the people's champion of cost-effectiveness. It's the workhorse you'll find in most cars on the road. ABS, on the other hand, is all about the look. It's what car makers use when they want a part to look and feel a little more premium.
This table kind of breaks down the whole crew. You've got modified PP, the cost-effective king you'll find in most everyday cars. Then you've got ABS, the style champion for those mid-range models. Move on up to the luxury brands and you might run into PC/ABS alloy, the luxury elite. This stuff is tough as nails but super expensive. For the parts that do the heavy lifting, like clips and gears, there's PA or nylon. It's the muscle of the group. And way down at the budget end, you have PS/HIPS, which is basically the same stuff they use for blister packaging. It's cheap, but it feels it. Okay, now that you know the players, let's arm you with some serious knowledge. We're going to bust some myths and help you see right through the 4 most common lies, or let's say misunderstandings, you might hear at the dealership.
First up, a real classic. You tap on a piece of plastic trim and the salesperson says, "See? Feel how solid that is? That's quality right there." But is harder plastic actually better?
No way. That is dead wrong. In a crash, plastic that's too hard and brittle can literally shatter into sharp little missiles inside your car. You don't want hardness, you want toughness, the ability to bend and absorb an impact without breaking. Toughness is what keeps you safe, not hardness.
All right, myth number 2. It's pretty easy to assume that if a car has a premium badge on the front, it must use the most expensive materials everywhere, right? So luxury cars have to be full of that high-end PC/ABS plastic.
Not even close. This is where smart engineering comes in. A lot of luxury brands use a highly engineered, specially formulated modified PPP that gives you that premium feel for a fraction of the cost. See, it's not about the name of the ingredient, it's all about the recipe.
And this is the biggest trap of them all. You're in a brand new car, everything looks perfect, the panels line up, the surfaces are flawless, it feels like a quality product. So that means it's going to stay that way, right?
This is the single biggest mistake you can make. See, engineers call seats time-based parts. Their real test isn't on day 1, it's on day 1,000. Good plastic has to survive years of summer heat,
winter cold, and the stress of you getting in and out of the car day after day without falling apart or getting noisy. That showroom shine means absolutely nothing.
So, how do you spot the good stuff for yourself? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here is a simple 3-step guide you can use right there in the showroom.
It's super simple, easy to remember. All you got to do is touch, look, and listen. Let's break down exactly what you're doing in each step.
Okay, here's your on-the-lot checklist. First, touch. Run your fingers along the edges of the plastic panels. Do they feel smooth and finished? Are they kind of sharp and cheap? Then, find a hidden spot and gently scratch it with your fingernail. If it leaves a big white mark, that's a sign of low-quality PP. Second, look. Check out the gaps between the plastic parts. Are they even and consistent? Can you see the lines where the mold came together, or are they nicely hidden? Quality is always in the details. And finally, listen. This is the big one. On your test drive, turn the radio off, find a bumpy road, and just listen to the seat. A quality seat is a silent seat.
So here's the bottom line. We always think of luxury as being the leather we see and feel, but that's only like 30% of the story. The real, lasting quality, the solid feel, the silence, the durability, that comes from the 70% you can't see, that hidden plastic exoskeleton. So just remember, the true sign of a well-made car isn't just the shiny stuff you see in the showroom. It's in the invisible details that are engineered to last. Next time you sit in a car, don't just feel the leather, listen for the quality.